Hello and welcome to today's historic best of 3 deck tech and gameplay video on green-white life gain, or Soul Sisters, whichever you want to call it. Soul Sisters is, in my opinion, is one of the better decks that a person looking to get into historic and really into Magic should play. It's pretty aggressive, but it can gain you life, since early on in people's Magic careers, myself included, life gain always seems popular. And this deck can take advantage of it with some good little synergy cards. With that little preamble out of the way, we'll get into the deck itself. I have it divided into 4, technically 5 categories, so we'll go through this on a category view. First category is the low to the ground life gain enablers. Leonin Vanguard, if you have honestly a respectable size board, the Vanguard gets bigger and gains you life. Serra Ascendant, a little 1 mana, 1/1 lifelinker, which early on is fine. It's just more early on lifelink. But more importantly, if you can get over the 30 life threshold, it gets really big and has flying and can quickly close out a game. So this has dual function as both an early game card and a late game card. Soul Warden, which is where the Soul Sisters name comes from usually. Soul Warden is a 1 mana 1/1 that gives you a life whenever another creature enters the battlefield. Most importantly, either your or your opponent's side of the field, so it's a nice little effect to have. I'm also running 2 Daxos as basically another form of a Soul Warden. Admittedly, it only triggers on our battlefield, but it also triggers when something dies, so it's a nice little trade-off. Also, its toughness can get kind of big and beefy the higher your devotion is, so it can be useful for blocking if you need to take a few turns to go on the defensive to stabilize early on. Second category, life gain payoffs. Ajani's Pridemate, 2 mana 2/2, gets bigger when you gain life. The old Moon Dancer, basically the same thing, except for the fact that you also scry one, which can help sort of filter out bad draws. The legendary part of it, where you can only have 1 in the field at a time, it can be an issue, which is why we don't run 4 of. But it's very rarely gonna be that big of a hindrance. Also running 2 Book of Exalted Deeds, because if I was doing a life gain style deck, I feel like the Book of Exalted Deeds is kind of required. It's not a good card if you aren't trying to do that silly Faceless Haven permalock combo. But again, it's a okay card. At the beginning of her end step, if you gain 3 life, you make an angel. You can also pay its cost to tap and exile it to basically make an angel into a platinum angel. If it can make it work, then it's fine. But a lot of the times, it's just not that good of a card. But it's on theme. Third category is sort of the top end and the big life gain enablers. I have 2 Elder Gargaroth and 2 Thragtusk. Now, if you say have differing numbers of these, go ahead and fiddle with the numbers. Or if you say don't have one of them, you could also run a Palaka Worm or something like that if you need to. But I leave that to your individual discretion. They're also, besides being cards that can gain you life, or in case of the Elder Gargaroth, do a whole gaggle of things. These also just are kind of big top-end threats that allow you to just close out the game. Fourth category is sort of the support card to kind of help this whole thing function and not just be a total meme. For Abundant Harvest, nice card to let you smooth out your draws. Can be either a land or a non-land whenever you need one in question. Also allows us to get through, or get away with, running only 21 lands. And so since you can turn the Abundant Harvest basically into 4 extra lands if you need them. Or when you need them. 4 Skyclave Apparitions as a general sort of removal on a body. 2 Bond of Disciplines for a way to, unstall boards, because sometimes you'll get in a weird stalemate where nobody feels comfortable attacking. Bond of Discipline is a good finisher, and that just allows your likely relatively large board to like actually win the game. Also running 2 Great Henge, another form of life gain, can also turn those cheap early game creatures into cantrips, as well as making any creature basically a little bit bigger. Lands are relatively simple. Hi, cats. I think you two can get along. Sorry. Sorry about that. Had to make sure the cats weren't, tearing up the house. That's what that noise was you heard a couple seconds ago. Lands. 4 shock lands. I have 3 check lands. Also have green man land and a castle for some utility in our lands, and even split up basics. Not too terribly difficult on that front. Sideboard, pretty self-explanatory. Thalias against non-creature spells, which there's a lot of. Scavenging Ooze has some targeted graveyard hate and can also be some life gain, I guess, technically. Couple Knights of Autumn, usually brought in as enchantment and artifact hate, but it can also just be more life gain if you feel like you need it against burn and aggro decks. 3 Rest in Peace for more graveyard hate, which is the kind of a bit of a boogeyman in Historic, and really any deck should have a good amount of graveyard hate, in my opinion. 2 Archons of Emeria. We basically bring this in against decks that are looking to try and like storm off or play a lot of spells in a turn, whether it be like an actual storm deck or some Citadel Bolus weird stuff, or even the occasional aggro deck looking to just flood with a bunch of little dudes. Wrath of God is a sort of insurance policy card. And yeah, I know you don't want to wrath your own board, but sometimes things like elves or goblins can just go faster than you, wider than you. And that is the cats again, not getting along. Last card on the sideboard is a singleton copy of Vivian Reed, former powerhouse of Standard, but I sadly, weirdly kind of fell off. Vivian Reed is a card that you can bring in, also as additional artifact or enchantment, or even flying removal, if you need it to be. You can also bring it in if an opposing deck, some sort of weird mid-range thing, wants to bury you in value. Vivian Reed's a good way to sort of try and match that value over a longer game. And like any Planeswalker with an emblem, hey, if you can get to the emblem and activate it, cool. And that is the deck tech for green-white life game. We'll go straight into game number 1. Game number 1 with green-white life game. Go ahead and play first. This is actually a pretty good hand. Don't got any 1-drops, which is less than ideal, but about as smooth of as a hand as one can ask for, really. See what our opponent does. Ah, they have a little dragon dude. Hello. Plains and then a speaker. Yeah, they might be doing the same thing. Go ahead and play old Moon Dancer. See what our opponent does. Another speaker, so they would appear to be doing the same, or at least a similar thing. I think we're actually gonna Soul Warden then. We can afford to wait for the Skyclave, since we prefer to Skyclave something big, like a Resplendent Angel. Okay, you're a Leonin Light Scribe, so that totally gummed up what I thought this was going to be. I think we need to actually just Skyclave down the Light Scribe, since that card can get crazy fast. Go ahead and take another Skyclave. Hi, Carmel. Hello. We'll go ahead and attack. We can attack pretty freely here. Isn't that right? I love you and I'll play with you later. Another Light Scribe. And another one. I think we're basically gonna just repeat the turn again. Let's say, and if he attacks, we have a good enough board where we can block some speakers. Go ahead and grab one of the light scribes. Doesn't really matter which one. Yeah, we'll go Soul Warden. Why not? Go ahead and attack with old Moon Dancer. I gotta be getting real confident here to start letting Moon Dancer through. Is it mono white, like prowess or mage craft, whatever you want to call it? Let's see. We'll play Soul Warden and then play another apparition. Again, getting rid of the light scribe since that's really the most scary thing on their board. Serra Ascendant's pretty good since we'll probably be at the 30 life threshold. And then they scoop it up. They appear to just be mono white, so I don't know if I really need to worry about. I'm gonna go ahead and click submit again. Let it be known that I think a Wrath of God might be a good one to put in, but we have another game of cushion to see if we can just run the deck again. Our opponent will probably go first because our opponent does appear to have a brain in their skull. Although, they might be taking their sweet time. I'm not gonna lie, I do think the little dragon on the pile of gold is very cute. Okay, that's a bad hand since we got nothing to play. No, oh god, don't do this to me, game. Okay, that's better. I can do something with it. Probably get rid of the bond and probably get rid of one plains. We can Serra Ascendant on 1 and Pridemate on 2, using a Harvest to sort of smooth out and give us whatever we need on turn 3. If we're missing one thing or another. Ooh, a Clarion Spear from our opponent. Cast second spell each turn, 1/1 white spirit creature token with fly. It's fine, I guess. I'm gonna not attack though. Another alright. Alright. I don't know if what you're doing is good, but I'm in it. Okay, so we'll do Vanguard first. We'll Abundant Harvest to look for a land, hoping we get a white source for the Soul Warden. I understand that was an order lull, but this gave me the best outcome if I didn't hit a white source. Go ahead and play a Soul Warden. Now we can just kind of sit on this board. See what our opponent will do here. And we can slowly let our Pridemate get bigger and bigger. Admittedly, they can kind of just, yeah. Make a big old board of dudes and jump away forever. But we're going to be gaining enough life that we're in kind of what I talked about in the death tech earlier, about a weird sort of board stall state. We'll just go ahead and run out the hand. The Moon Dancer will hopefully help us sort out some good draws here. Harvest is fine. It can be whatever we need it to be. Go ahead and just... yeah, okay, through all this. We can attack with the Pridemate. We'll see if... yeah, that's it. The correct thing is to just start jumping with his spirit tokens. Clever Lumimancer. Triggers my Soul Warden and buffs my dudes up. I think I would have, Is it on? Yeah, it just says that it's the second spell. The target doesn't matter. Kind of annoying I can't just resolve through this like I could in paper, but I understand that it has to happen like this. I would have probably Defiant Striked my flyers. What the hell are you doing? I guess we'll just block one of you. You're white, right? Unless that one creature land, the takedown thing. That's the only thing I could see really gumming this up. Because it's like... Ah! Okay. Cannot target creature. Okay, I don't think our opponent had to give that up. I think they were totally in that game. They 100% could have stayed. But I'll take a quick game for editing purposes. Anywho, on to game number 2. Game number 2 with Green-White Life Gain. Go ahead and again play first. I hear Kitty Cat. The greedy part of me wants to keep this, but we'll go ahead and mulligan. Alright, good. We'll be rewarded for our sanity. I think we'll actually chuck back a Bob Ross Forest. Soul Warden on 1, Moon Dancer on 2. And from there, we'll more than likely draw into some good, you know, action. And we'll be off to the races, more or less. Island's been passed from our opponent. Go ahead and just shuck in the Temple Guard. If there's a deck that doesn't care about shucking in lands, it's Life Gain. Another forest. To the bottom. Go ahead and attack with a Soul Warden. And our opponent's down to 19. Plains and then nothing. Sure, I guess I'll take the forest I didn't want. We'll go ahead and Abundant Harvest and look for a non-land. Does it mean Skyclave is an option? Go ahead and attack. Opponent down to 15. Ah, some sort of Jeskai attack. Okay. I'm a little wary about overextending, since I could see like a Wrath of God possibly happening out of some weird Jeskai deck. But I think we just need to make them have it. Play the Vanguard, which will trigger the Soul Warden, buffing the Moon Dancer, as well as the Moon Dancer will be buffed again by the Vanguard's own trigger, since we will be... Oh, never mind, Essence Scatter. Okay, you wouldn't bot... Well, maybe... Okay. If you had a Sweeper and you had an Essence Scatter, I guess there's an argument to be made by doing both. Oh, no! Lightning... Okay, no, that's fine. Lightning Helix was exactly the card he needed. Wizard class. No max hand size. Becomes level 2, draw 2. Draw a card, 1/1 counter on a creature you control. Alright, that's fine. We'll go ahead and Elder Gargaroth. Just start hitting. Nah, if he draws a card, he just draws cards. That doesn't really affect the board, so I'm not like too broken up about it. Go ahead and attack with the Gargaroth. I think I'll draw a card actually. I think we'll just make a human with Castle Ardenvale. Shotgun from our opponent. Teferi Hero. I would not be surprised if he tucks this. Since he kind of has to not die. Yeah, can't really blame you. That is the correct thing to do. I'll take a Thragtusk. Just keep pressuring with really big, you know, bodies until their life total goes to 0. One going to the Teferi hero to kill it, another going to our opponent's face.
Really should have seen that coming.
Does our opponent have the ability to stall? Probably does, to their credit. But if they basically removed the Thragtusk in the most common ways, I do get a 3/3 left behind, which is one of the perks of the Thragtusk. You can't tuck the Thragtusk, or you can tuck it, but it just says leaves the battlefield, so I still get the 3/3. Good game. Do they see it? Well, good. They're going to prove my point. Leaves the battlefield. Get a 3/3. We'll just be polite. I was about to say, and we'll just end the game. We won't farm him for quest progress. Thalia's pretty good against these type of decks. Probably one Vivian Reed. They didn't have that much to Skyclave, so I think we can just cut them. This is one of the weird examples, however, that when a book of Exalted Deeds can kind of do some work in a game like this, where our opponent is likely not going to be rushing to the finish line anytime soon. Ah, my sody pop. My generic caffeinated beverage. Opponent will, again, probably go first. Just gotta wait. That's not that bad. I can do something with this. Might be a Vanguard and then a Daxos plan. Or we can... Yeah, okay, we can do that. We can run the Sunpetal Grove and have access to both colors. Island from our opponent on turn 1. Plains on turn 2. Likely sitting on a counterspell. We'll go ahead and just, if he has the Essence Scatter for Daxos, he just has it. This is another one of those, you just kind of have to force your opponent to use the thing they have. Not bad, though. Not bad. I think we'll just probably play a Castle Ardenvale and play an Abundant Harvest. Let's see, red-white check land from our opponent. Alright. Pridemate, see if you have another counterspell or a lightning helix or something. Go ahead and Abundant Harvest and look for a non-land, since we basically have all the lands our deck could ever want. Ah, yeah, the Bond of Discipline's a little bit of a weird one. But that, yeah. I might even, okay, that's a little weird. Ah, yes, the old Shark Typhoon. Does he block? Hi, sweetheart. Somebody exploring today? You know, I'm gonna go sit in the laundry hamper, Dad, because you haven't done laundry yet. Look at my fluffy booty and my tail. Aren't I so cute? Just got a triumph from our opponent and a big old sopping wet pass. We'll go ahead and play the second green, since there are cards that require 2 green in our deck. Go ahead and just play another Pridemate and just bonk our opponent for a little bit. I think, yeah, I'm about to say, Shark Typhoon's too good of a control finisher. I actually do kind of agree with one of Jeff Hoagland's points he's made relatively recently. That Shark Typhoon might be, like, the best blue, like, finisher, like, probably, or one of the best blue finishers, like, ever. The card is so good.
I won't hide from the world any longer. You know what? I'm not.
Uptick from the Teferi. Probably does a Triome and a Plains, or an island. Okay, I'd be really grateful if you could stop giving me lands, game. I think I'm actually gonna Bond of Discipline here, just to try and get some life, and get these Pridemates to get particularly scary. Oh god, I have a sneeze incoming. Oh, thank god. I was able to hit the appropriate buttons fast enough. Gotta work on killing the Teferi. Our opponent did Dobin's veto the bond here, which is the correct thing. Probably should have taken out the bonds as they be necessary. The Shark Typhoon. Stop giving me lands. Sometimes you just flood and old RNGesus and Nuffle God of the Die are not particularly fond of you. My money's on a lightning helix, maybe? Hey! That's not good. If we draw another land, I'm just gonna scoop and go to the next one. Yeah, I know. Go ahead and end turn. This is not looking good. They appear to have turned the corner and are tightening the screws, as it were. Yeah, go ahead and draw. A weird bit where white and blue can ramp in a card. Fuck, man, this thing has been like the blue-white top end for fucking years. Ah, Magnum Opus. We'll just go ahead and do it now. I'm impatient. Probably has some torrential gear hole nonsense. Alright. Nothing. Okay, I totally forgot about the bonds. Get the fuck out of here. The only thing that makes any modicum of sense. Well, let's do Knights of Autumn, so we can get rid of the Shark Typhoons. Probably has some sort of pacifism, banishing light style Oblivion Ring effect in his deck, if I had to take a guess. We'll go ahead and play first. Oh, you're fucking killing me, game. I don't know if I can afford to take off turn 1. Okay, that's better. I can do something with that. Go ahead and get rid of one Gargaroth. Plains and a Soul Warden. Try and hit the ground somewhat running. All the Storm Giants from our opponent. Go ahead and Serra Ascendant. Honestly, probably Abundant Harvest looking for a non-land. I need more pressure right now than I do more lands. Okay, well that can't be Lightning Helix. Guess we go ahead and attack. See... No. I want to play it to apply pressure, but we kind of need to be smart about this. What was our opponent holding on to? Maybe like an Essence Scatter? Oh, that's weird. Probably some Mizzix Mastery bullshit, if I had to take a wild guess. Go ahead and play the Pridemate. Yeah, another Essence Scatter. Oh god, they have several different arts. If they have the Torrential Gear Hulk, like I think they do, they will be able to activate it very soon. And that will give us at least something to try and use the Knight of Autumn on besides the Shark Typhoon. We're getting to the point where I'm thinking we might have lost. It doesn't look good, Jack. Does not look good at all. How much does that need? 6 mana? Okay. Alright. I really hope they don't get rid of Hexproof. Pardon? Okay. Alright, I can do that. 1 forest, 1 plains. Let's see what our opponent does. 5 mana, show me a Teferi. We'll go ahead and Moon Dancer. Because I'd be very surprised if they don't have, like, a counterspell here. Hey! Guess we just attack. Oh, boy. Isn't that right? Come on! Come say hi to Dad! We'll go ahead and intern. Hi, baby girl. I'm a little tiny baby cat. Yeah, I'll come pet you. After Daddy's done. Oh, this is gonna be miserable. Go ahead and do Thragtusk. I guess I don't think this thing happens to hit the board. Well, this is one of those we just kind of have to try. Okay. That's an option. We're at 30 life, which is something, I suppose. Is that a Lightning Helix? That weird moment when a Thragtusk isn't that good when it can be answered by a 2-mana Lightning Helix. Like, it's still fine. It's not a bad card. But Thragtusk, kind of like a Death Shadow, is sort of another one of those cards that we've sort of, like, power crept past, I guess? I don't know what our opponent's waiting on here. But it concerns me. Go ahead and play a Soul Warden. Be a responsible little Magic player this time. And we'll wait to cast the Elder until second main. What? Another Settle the Wreckage, maybe? Yeah, I was right about the Torrential Gearhold. Wait, what do you... Oh, I guess the Settle now? Oh, Magnum Opus, alright. 4 damage, tap 2, create 4/4, draw 2 cards. Yeah, that's okay, actually. That's not that bad. It's, like, really fucking annoying, but it's, like, fine. And then, he takes the block because he has a brain in his head. Go ahead and play the Knight of Autumn. I'm proud of myself. I made a good sideboard decision. I think we can actually kind of still win this, maybe? Shocking it in for something. Ah! That would explain that. Go ahead and do the same thing again. If he has a counterspell, he'll probably use it on the Gargaroth, admittedly. As he should, might I also add. Ah! Okay. There's that. Weirdly, I think I'm gonna attack. I gotta try and close this out, and their life total... I'm gonna have very few options or opportunities to lower their life down any further. How big is that giant 7/7? So conveniently bigger than my... Ah, fuck, that's rough. Oh, good. Now, oh, for fuck's sake. It's not good. Like at all. Okay, that's not really that useful. We'll go ahead and attack with the Elder, however. Try and draw some cards. Okay, Thragtusk is a thing. Yeah, man, I feel like Gargaroth is just a better version. He can go ahead and attack. It does get rid of the big scary one, admittedly. We sort of have the life total, though, to just kind of ride this thing out. Well, the Wizard class is actually pretty good in control deck, because I hadn't even thought about it. I weirdly think that we... Again, I don't feel like this game is beyond winning. I think we actually, unironically, still have a chance here. Go ahead and play Moon Dancer. And I'll just attack with a Thragtusk. If he chump blocks it, that's fine. Oh, God, for fuck's sake. You know what would have been awesome? A goddamn Bond of Discipline here. We'll go ahead and not attack. I'll give this 3 turns. 3 more of my turns. And if I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, then we're not going to bother. Because without Bond of Discipline, we literally can't pull through this. It's kind of the fucked bit. Just now realized, yeah, that third... Yeah, that fucking... Again, like the best blue finisher printed in many, many years. Okay, you know what, actually... Our opponents won. We might be able to win that, but I'm not going to make you all suffer through that. And I'm not that committed to the win. And that was Green-White Life Game. Pretty fun deck. It'll do an okay job. But that, I suppose, will be the our video for the day. Thank you all for watching. Like the video if you liked it, sub if you like my content, and if you have any sort of questions or concerns or comments, as long as they're constructive and nice, that's what comments are for. So thank you all, and have a great day. Bye-bye!